Afternoon folks, nice way to kick off another vlog. I didn't even think I was going to be down here this week. Told you a few more white lies. Didn't say I was going to be back out angling just before France, but the way it works all fell into place. Managed to get down here, and there's this nice little stunner to kick things off. Just a shade under £10, so I'll pop it back and have a nice chat here after, folks. Well, good afternoon folks, just gone 24 minutes past 5, and as you've seen in the opening blog piece, lovely way to kick off another session with that stunning little common of around about £9 or £10. Didn't weigh it, but when they look like that, the weight's irrelevant. And no guesses to where we are, as you can see with the Brolly in the background. We're back down for the new water. I did mention in update 17 that I wouldn't be angling again before France, but told you a bit of a white lie there, folks. Got the chance again, so off out angling, here I am. And I've got a whole week to look forward to next week, because me and a good friend of mine, Mr. Rudge, we're channel hopping this Friday, off up to Portsmouth, and then heading towards France for a week-long session at Lord's Lake. So I've got some welcome angling to look forward to in the up-and-coming days. But back to this session, and just to show you what I'm doing. That fish that I just returned, I must instantly say, soon after I had another bite on the middle rod. The reel was just literally ripping line and pulled into it, nothing there. So I've had a few of them this year, but yeah, bit of a strange one. But that capture I caught on one of these little babies, and that's the old Scent from Hell. Been using it now for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've had a few bites, but that's the first capture on this particular bait, so pleased about that. And that's on the old choddy. Got an ant biting my arm there. We're in the same swim that we've been fishing for quite a few sessions this year. It's a bit of a double swim. Mark's to the left, I'm on the right, and I'm fishing the old choddy down in the corner. As I say, the Scent from Hell, and that's fished over one of my fizz bottom baits. Chopped about, I don't know, 50 of them up and just sprayed them all over the spot. And actually, when I was throwing the baits in, there was loads of fizzing. I've come back and the rod hasn't even been in the water for 20 minutes and it's melted off, and that was the result. That nice little common. My middle rod, which is the one I had the second bite on this evening, which I pulled into absolutely nothing, which is a puzzler. That's on the usual CM1. And that one's got a nice little 12mm pink CM1 tipper, snowman style, and we've got that little baby on there, and that's a CM1 bottom bait. But this is the bait that I've rolled for France, obviously in a brown colour. Reason being is I'm using exactly the same base mix that I used last year on that venue. I had loads of bites in it, a really successful week, so I thought I've got a few kilo left over from the batch that I made for France. I'm going to give it a whirl down here, and that's fished on the old little tipper again. That's a CM1 tipper, 12mm, and that's a white one. So got a few options, all complemented with little PVA bags with chopped Brolly. That's for the snowman presentations. Conditions look good, nice wind trickling in here. It's a bit bright. If you've been following my blogs over recent weeks, you'll know that I don't like the sunshine, but Mother Nature sets the rules there. But I've had a nice early bite, so hopefully we're in for a few more. So there you go. I'm going to stick the old kettle on for the first brew of the session. Okay, just gone 27, and a bit of an update. Temperature's dropping now. It's gone a bit nippy, I've got to be honest with you. I had to put the old jacket on. But regards to the fishing front, really quiet. Had that early action as you've seen in the opening piece of this blog, and that aborted take on the middle rod. But just popped next door to see Mark, and we've been watching the water and having a chat. There is telltale signs of the odd bubbling, and I think we have seen one fish. We're undecided whether it was a carp, but something certainly head and shouldered in the vicinity. So there's one or two here still, but they haven't really switched on. So I think we're going to have a recast. Not so much on the choddy. I've just been down there and I've just broken a few fizz boilies up and just scattered them and peppered them over the choddy, so I'm going to leave that one. But I think I'm going to re-chuck the middle and left-hander, so I'm going to make some fresh PVA mesh bags up with some chopped boilie and give him a wang. And as I talk to you now, look over, Mark's doing the same thing, he's just retrieving the rod. So yep, there we go, a little bit of an update. Hopefully tea time's going to come shortly. Okay then, it's gone 8:05 and it's gone a bit dark and gloomy. And gloomy is the word at the moment because the fishing's just naff. Nights are drawing in a bit now, around about 8:30, 20 to 9. It's starting to get dark, so we haven't really got that much time on our side. And this water, there is a policy where we've got to leave at dusk, so yeah, that's about it really. It's what started off very promising with that early fish and that aborted take on the middle rod. As I said, it looked very promising. Mark is, well, I think I was on record as saying last week he hasn't blanked this season, which is an absolutely fantastic achievement, but that duck might be broken tonight, I hope not. Fingers crossed it ain't, but it's not looking very good at all. Mark has not had a bleep tonight. He's been watching that water like a hawk. He's re-spotted a couple of times. We've both had fish, certainly I have in recent weeks, when I've just recasted and I ain't even got the rod on the buzzer and it's gone. But nothing tonight, absolutely nothing. But I don't want to throw the towel in just yet, because certainly the time that we have spent on this water, things can happen quite quickly. So 8:07, I'm doing this little piece now whilst we've got reasonable light, and that's about it really. If anything else does happen and we can get it in the blog, we will do. I think Mark will be down here next week, and I'm, as I said before, off to France on Friday evening, and I've got the joys of another week of angling to look forward to. Hopefully in search of some whackers, gracing the bottom of my landing net. I went there last year with Mark, and we had an absolutely fantastic week. The venue we're going to, Lord's Lake in France. I know Mark had over 30 odd 30s. Unbelievable, and he's looking at me with a big grin on his face. I just wish he was coming with me, but sadly he can't come this year. He's spent out taking the family abroad. But I'm going with another good friend of mine, Mr. Rudge. He hasn't been to France for, I think he was telling me, about 6 years. So I think he's more excited than I am. So yeah, got that to look forward to, and I'll be doing a blog every day out there. So I'll be putting together, hopefully, some enjoyable viewing on my return. And there we go. So 8:10 now. As I say, if anything happens, I'll get it in the blog, but if not, folks, I'll see you on the banks at Lord Lake.
Well then, folks, he's only gone and done it. He's kept the flame alight. The non-blank season is still well and truly on its...
big significance to this one.
Yeah.
It's made it so I've managed to catch a fish every session so far this season. Even though it's rather late, I'm probably bordering on the night fishing time now, so we've really got to get this one back in and go. But it's been a real gruel of a session, same as the last one really, but we managed to nick one right to death. So, and a beautiful little mirror, that one.
Yeah, which has got a distinctive black spot. I've just had a bleep as well. Don't know if you heard that on the camera, folks. My receiver's in my pocket.
Absolute mint condition fish, that
It's a stunning fish. But you've worked you know what's off tonight, mate.
I really have, because I did want to try and get through the season without a blank, but I'll put another week on in anyhow. So.
Fantastic. Well, we'll get a nice still of that one, and we'll try and get one with the distinctive black spot, because I like the character fish.
Yeah, that's it.
But
so,
you've deserved that, mate. That's good angling, and I'm pleased for you.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one, mate.
Thanks. it.